How about the insurrection? Aren't the Republicans the gun-toting party? How come there was an insurrection and the militia didn't have guns? I never heard of an insurrection without guns.
You're taking me down too many wormholes at the end of the show. If we want to talk about something, let's talk about Donald Trump Jr.'s Murph time.
Outrageous. 30 minutes. What a fucking lie, right?
I think he said 32 or 30. I mean, Hunter ran it in 34:11, unpartitioned with a weight vest.
Hey, at least he does. At least he does CrossFit.
Who? Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, and his kids do it.
Does he still?
I think once you do it, you always do it.
No, I think he got run out. I think
you do?
when that Murph thing happened, he said, "I'm steering clear of these guys because what was so funny because it was back to what I wanted to say. The FBI, I believe, is probably bipartisan. You got enough. That's got to be split in there. There's got to be as many Republicans as Democrats in there. So that's a part I'm going to be like, I might call bullshit on. But when Trump posted that Murph time, there was half of the comments were like, "You go, Donnie. That's fucking great. Way to support Michael Murphy and great time. You probably can go even faster next time." And then half of them are like, "You fucking liar. You're worse than your fucking dad." Yeah. And it was hilarious. And it was so fun to read.
Did he ever defend himself? Did he defend himself?
Never.
He was never like, "Oh shit, I only did half the workout. I forgot to run the mile at the end."
No, but they were so quick to go look up his other times, and they saw his 5K time.
Yeah.
And his 5K time was like
24 minutes.
No, way worse. And they were like, "So what you're saying is you ran if you did your
That's 8-minute miles. It's way worse than a 24-minute. Jesus."
Yeah. Let's say he ran 9-minute miles in his 5K.
Right.
So you ran your 2 miles in 9 minutes. Let's say you ran them in your 5K time. So you ran 18 minutes. You now have 24 minutes to do Cindy.
Yeah.
Which is possible, but really? No, not even. Yeah. 24 minutes to do. Am I right? No. You have 14 minutes or 16 minutes or whatever it was to do Cindy, which is impossible.
I was trying to make sure that it was really Cindy. It is Cindy, yeah.
Yeah, so it's impossible that he could have done that.
Yeah, I've done Cindy in 20 minutes a few times and fully gamed it, and it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Well, when I say 20 minutes, I did 20 rounds. Sorry, I did 20 rounds.
Yeah,
a handful of times, and it hurt.
I've done it myself, and where I start on the minute, and I'm like, I'm going to go every minute, and I'm going to, and it kills.
It kills.
And then you've got a mile before that and a mile after that. There's no possible way.
Yeah,
it's an impossibility, and so I feel like as much as he caught shit, he did get away with murder too. Like that's CrossFit, and everybody holds you to a standard in CrossFit. And half the people, and it just shows how tribal and how partisan we are, that half the people let him off the hook. Just the same half would let Hunter Biden off the hook. They'd be like, well, he probably did it with, maybe he was having a good day. And
dude, he was on two, but he smoked a giant crack rock before he did Murph and did it in 24 mints.
Yeah. So I look.
don't think it's a justification that first of all, I think Donald Trump Jr. is 1,000 times the man that fucking Hunter Biden is. But I don't think it's a justification. You can be like, yeah, this dude's smoking crack, and his dad's putting black dudes away in jail for it. But Donald Trump lied about his Murph score. I'll take Donald Trump Jr. with the lie in the Murph score. I mean, I don't. Two wrongs don't make a right.
When did you become Republican?
I'm not Republican. I'm a tree-hugging, dirt-twirling hippie. I voted for Hillary.
Why?
I voted for Obama because I'm a jackass. I'm blue pill. I'm just honest now. Here's the problem. I'm just honest now. I'm not lying. I stopped lying. I learned how to stop lying to myself. I'm not like, oh, this is about women's rights. Like, okay, and what's on the other side? I'm not like, oh, hey, this is about quarantine people to save old people. Okay, how many did did we save 1 million old people over 80 years old, and now 4 kids who are 8 years old committed suicide? Fine, I want to be honest. I want to kill the 1 million old people and save the 4 kids. Like, I just became honest, but I'm still a dirt twirler.
Yeah, but weren't those kids going to kill themselves anyway?
Right. Oh, we live amongst zombies. The zombie movies are real. Basically, that's what's happened. You want to ask me when I stopped being a zombie? I'll answer that. It's been a slow awakening process. And when you start asking the definition of words, like the whole thing about gender and sex, that's all because people refuse to define words. So gender is complete imagination. It's not real. It's just like red means there's nothing to it. Anyone can be. And how do I know that? Because I can ask myself what gender. If it's like I asked you this, Eddie, if I asked you, does Bigfoot have hair or fur? I'm asking you to partake in my delusion that Bigfoot's real. So when I ask you what gender you are, I'm asking you to partake in a delusion. I'm not going to partake in. I'm not going to partake in.
Whoa. You're living in a society where 97% of the country believes in God and believes in the biblical version of God.
The right has God and the left has gender. It's fucking batshit crazy. I agree. There's nothing worse than when someone from the right's like, and that's why the sex thing, like, just explain to me why it's immoral that I had sex with my girlfriend when I was 18. I have no idea. I love the shit out of her.
Yeah. Have you ever
explain
heard
to
of,
me, like,
have you ever heard of horseshoe theory?
No.
So
you know what it is? Everyone's afraid of the unknown. So they have to answer. If you're afraid of the unknown, or if you're afraid of being honest with yourself, like this, some Chinese kids probably died because of this.
Sure.
Yeah, that sucks. But I'm not gonna lie to myself about it.
I forget the name of the company, Foxconn.
Yeah,
where they make these. Do you know
they built the nets around the building to catch the people?
People are jumping off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel so much better now when I buy an iPhone, knowing that there's a net to catch them. I'm willing to pay the 5 cents extra for better netting.
Well, I watched a woman protesting and talking shit on Foxconn and Apple and the phones and everything. The whole time she's doing it, she's wearing Converse sneakers while she's doing it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you look so dumb right now. But back to horseshoe theory, there was a French philosopher that decided that, like, liberal and conservative are not on a linear plane where it's like right wing at one end and left wing at the other end, and they're so far apart from each other, but it's more of a horseshoe where at one end you have the far right and it goes up, and the right and the moderates are up at the top, and then the lefties, and then it comes down, and the far left are right down there at the bottom, right near the far right. So the left and the right, the far left and the far left are actually really close to each other.
Yeah.
It's like you've got the
they want to kill people to prove themselves. Yeah, they're fat. They would kill people in order to keep their shit true.
Yeah, fascists and socialists.
Yeah.
And it's like and so everybody up in the middle, I just wish more people, and I think we've let the marginalized, the liberal or the vocal minorities have too much of a voice. When I was in college, those vocal, and when I say minority, I mean the vocal, like left and right, they spoke out, and we just went, shut the fuck up, and ignored them and went and did beer bongs. It was like, we don't get
what do you think about people who are, what do you think about the big people who are waking up? What do you think about Bill Maher, Joe Rogan, Russell Brand, fucking full-blown fucking fascist commies now fucking swinging over to the right?
I never would have called Rogan a fascist commie.
Fascist commie. He supported Bernie Sanders. Fascist commie. I know he's your buddy, but but I understand you can't call him that, but I can.
No, but I think
he's a pussy. He knew COVID was only killing fat people, and he had a chance to say it, and he didn't.
You don't think he did?
It sure took him a long fucking time. He apologized for
Sevan,
saying racial.
Look, don't you think we all have struggled with it? With you don't know who to believe, and you've got to sift through a lot of, like, is this guy right? Is this guy right? I still struggle.
But once I agree. But once you know,
I still don't know where I stand with COVID.
Okay, well that's fair, but he knows. He knows.
I don't know if he knows.
He had Jordan Peterson on his show, and Jordan Peterson said, "We live with a society of fat and stupid people." Like he knows.
I'll tell
Rogan
you this.
knows.
I'll tell you this about Joe.
I don't hate the guy. By the way, I don't know him. I don't know him, but I think he's had opportunities and he didn't take those opportunities the way he could have.
I think he's a good, fair person that tries to hear things out and hear both sides and give both sides a chance. And
he's not. Didn't he say he's not going to have Trump on?
And yeah, and I think he.
By the way, that's his show too. By the way, fuck anyone. Like I was about. On one hand, I want to be like you're an asshole, but it's his show. Fuck you. He could do what he wants.
But I think he can be swayed very easily too. I think if the way Joe is, if he sat in the room with Trump and talked to him for 2 hours, he might come out and be like, "That guy's a fucking great guy." And I kind of agree with a lot of what he has to say. But
I think he's not having him on, by the way, because he has 3 daughters.
I think there's a lot of reasons.
Does Joe have 3 daughters or 4 daughters?
I
think if you have daughters, you struggle with Donald Trump.
Yeah, amongst other things.
Yeah. I don't mean that as a dig. I mean that as a positive thing. I think if I had daughters, I might fucking dislike them more.
It's funny. I can't wait for the first comment that'll be like, "Lots of politics talk, no thanks," and which means we disagreed with somebody's opinion, and it could be either way, left or right. And it's like, oh, so if someone disagrees with you on an issue or wants to have a conversation about that, to discuss it, to maybe change another person's opinion or enlighten them, but no, because it wasn't the pill that you've taken, you turn us off. And I get that.
On my CrossFit show, all the fucking time, someone uses the word sex or gender wrong, I correct them. Or I throw shit in there all the time about like politics. It's not even politics. That's the other thing too. We're not talking about politics. It's maybe philosophy, linguistics, life, death. We're not. These people happen to be politicians, but I'm not trying to sway anyone's opinion.
And we very rarely talk about legislation or. And if you know, I used to work
get to the truth.